Mr. James Scarlett. So soon we go again.
Good afternoon, mate. I am coming at you from my caravan again, holding out for a Beero, the new 2000 Trees beer. Go on.
Okay, so yesterday, which we're about to get into, being so fucking bonkers, because this is the Friday, we never do this, this is the Friday after. So the Bob Vylan podcast came out yesterday, this is the day after, to put the listeners in the loop. I'll go through why it was such a fucking incredible day, and then the pod going on sale, and fucking that was incredible as well. I ended up to 4:30 this morning drinking bubbly with my missus. I am a wee bit hanging, so I've got my coffee here to try and get myself back in the game. However, not to let the team down, ever, I've got my 2 freezing cold cans of Stoford Press, okay? So,
beautiful.
Let me just get the coffee down, try and get the gears firing in the old head, because that was a bit of a wild night last night. I went far too heavy.
Have you considered electrolytes as an option?
Oh, such a mistake, because I've got fucking electrolytes down there, but I've only been awake for like 20 minutes. I had enough time to get up, iron this kneecap t-shirt, and make a coffee, so I forgot about electrolytes. I wish I had. So, yes, I'm doing good. I'm looking forward to cracking these cans and having a fun with my...
You like to give me shit quite regularly for setting up the Instagram and then leaving it to you. I just want to clarify that I have got here about 30 workers and an entire festival being set up, and I was sat this morning prepping this episode, getting the questions ready to send to you, and you're telling me you woke up 20 minutes ago. It's 1 p.m. It's 1 p.m.
Tell me this though, and tell me no lies. Do you prep the Q&As because you want to know what the questions are? Like you don't like getting into the Q&As and not already know what the questions are. I'm quite happy to go in and just do a lot of them in spec. So don't start with this whole woe is me. You want to do that because you want to come in reassured when you start the podcast. You know what we're going to be talking about. When I'm a bit more like, right, fuck it, it'll be fine. It will be fine, and I'm sure it will be. So
it will be.
Yesterday, the reason I popped the bubbly last night with my good wife Kelly was yesterday's podcast, the one with about Bob Vylan with Catherine from Radar. Although a difficult subject, it just went mental everywhere. With 20,000 people so far have listened. That's outstripped everything we've ever done. It's already the most popular downloads we've ever had out there. I mean, on fucking YouTube, we've got like 10,000 views that time we're done with this. It was everywhere you looked. It was just Instagram was going crazy, TikTok was going crazy, the fucking Facebook page was going crazy. It was going into, NME ripped it off, and it had it on their homepage. The interview done. Far Out magazine ripped it off 5 times over. Like just kept taking segments out. Like, being an ex-journalist myself, I got very cleverly going. Radar Festival considered kneecap as the thing. It's such a throwaway wee thing they were kind of joking about, but it's such a great headline to be like, oh, they were going to do this and bring in kneecap. So you've got 74,000 comments going, just getting more engagement because people are there to say, oh, that's a lot of bullshit and that's not what they said. But ultimately for these social media sites, engagement's engagement. And it was just a surreal day. And then in the midst of it all, we put the Christmas podcast show on sale to subscribers only. So we've got like 250 subscribers. Like 120 of them bought tickets. So by the end of the night, we've done like 120 to 130 tickets to the show. Fucking podcast is flying. Thursday's usually a day that my kids are at my mum's, so we normally have a bottle of wine and a nice meal anyway. And I was like, no, let's just take this a wee step further. And then it went a few steps too far. Next thing you know, it's 4 in the morning. I was almost in tears when I woke up 20 minutes ago. So fucking incredible. An incredible day. How was your day been in the farm? You said it was windy.
Yeah, it's not windy in a bad way, but just because I'm in the caravan, if anyone can hear the wind or see my screen rocking a bit, the caravan is moving as I'm sitting in it, which is a bit annoying. It's going great here, man. Have you seen the weather forecast? It's going to be 30. It's going to be 33 degrees on Friday at Trees. It's like every day is in the high 20s or early 30s. It's going to be spectacular weather. You're going to need your electrolytes and your sun cream. But it's going great here. We're the main stage, which I think I might have mentioned last week. We were worried about whether it would be up in time. They put it up in a day. They've done it in 24 hours. I've never seen anything like it. It's beautiful out there. Everyone's calm. no dummies have been spat yet. Usually, we've got a couple of spiky organisers in our team. My brother being one of them. Usually, someone's lost their shit, but no, everyone's happy.
Who's the other? Mark? Oh, Gareth?
Well, Mark can go if you push him. Simon, if Simon's go and they stay gone. So if Simon loses his rag, he'll come back in about 10 days.
It's lost.
So it's not
that
fun.
rag's lost. It's lost.
Yeah, you never like to see it because he burns long. But everyone's in a very, very happy place. So yeah, we're all good.
So was that odd for you yesterday in the sense like you're knee deep in this festival, the big festival that you do, like 15,000-20,000 people there, and you've got this, you put it out the pod, and you're not even getting a chance to even listen to it, never mind see the best downloads, and then you've got the podcast that you're selling for Christmas, you have no way to tap into that because you're just so busy with something else.
Yeah, I mean, I ended up laying in bed at 1 a.m. scrolling through Instagram and Facebook trying to catch up. It was weird, and the stuff we'll talk about in a minute came out last night as we were a few rums deep, and it was a bit annoying. It really harshed my mellow up. Last night we got this tradition, like yesterday, which was Thursday, is the final calm day. From now on in, it's chaos. You're in the washing machine and just fucking keep going, and there'll be a festival. Lots of people, lots of questions, no downtime. So our tradition for Thursday is to take whoever's here. There was about 15 of us, and we walk down to the main stage, and we go and stand on the main stage. So we're like the first people to go on the main stage, and there's a bunch of helpers here that have never been here before. It's quite a nice little treat to go up on the main stage when it's an empty field. So we did that. It was really nice. But yeah, it was weird with all this rumbling on in the background. You're messaging me. Quite a few people are messaging me. It's all kicking off with Radar, Bob Vylan, and the podcast. And
yeah. Everyone else mentioned, oh, this is terrible. I'm just going, mate, 15,000 people. mate, the Instagram's getting off 500 followers. Just like they're getting no blue ticks, nothing. Just sitting there on a screen, and like getting sent to an old long lost relative. You're just getting these messages that are going out to no one. So I mean, I knew you were busy, but I just wanted to share my enthusiasm with you. No,
I appreciate it, and it's weird. It's starting to feel like for the second time of the year, we're in the news again. Even more so than with Kneecap, weirdly. Like this episode's taken off in a different way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in a good way and a bad way, which I suppose was always going to be the case. I mean, fortunately for you, you missed some of the absolute nuttiness of it. I mean, at one point, at several points, like you and I were getting called genocide enablers because we were, I don't know, setting fire to Catherine or Radar because. You know what these get? The problem with this argument, I suppose the problem when you go too far extreme in any direction is if you don't agree with everything they say, the way that they say it and how they want it done, you are in support of mass murder of children and genocide. And that's their top trump. And you cannot get that card off them. There is no nuance, there's no conversation like, hold the bus. I can be in support of a free Palestine as well, and we can still have a different opinion on how we should treat Radar Festival. No, you're a genocide enabler. And there was a lot of that. There was a lot of just insane, no backing down. Like the Radar especially were pro-Israel, pro-genocide, and you could not talk these people out of it. And because we give them any sort of platform, we were pro-genocide, and you weren't talking to anybody. And it was a bit surreal.
Well, there's a subtle difference here compared to Kneecap as well, because it was the sort of right wing that were up in arms with the Kneecap thing. And I'm always like, if you've upset the sort of extreme right, you've probably done something right, haven't you? But in this case, the left and the right are upset, right? They're up in arms. It's all of them.
They were literally getting it. Radar were getting it from both sides. It's like exactly. They were getting it from your pro genocide to you want to see you're anti-Semitic. It's like it was incredible for them to see it. I was better at it. It's just so outrageously stupid that it's difficult to get offended with. But every now and then I would bite at one, and it'd be like this guy. So will you get a message coming in a DM and be like, the three of yous are sick. You've got these platforms. You're genocide enablers, and I would just go right. All right, Chad from fucking California. Click, scroll, 2 years, 3 years of his Instagram. Nothing. Not a Palestinian flag, not a fucking comment, not a video in relation to it. What else gonna? Chad's got a electronic music project. Click. Dog shite. But not today with fucking Palestine. Not the, so I messaged back, Chad, I've just went through 3 years of your Instagram, mate. It's you and stupid cat pictures. It's like, where's the Palestine thing? Where's your platform? You've got 700 fucking followers on Instagram. We've got 3,000. It's not like we're some sort of the Guardian. We've got 3,000. Well, what are you doing? Like, you're saying, what are you doing with your platform? I rehome cats, and people who don't fucking, it says everything about you, that you've got no fucking love for cats and humanity. And I went, mate, I fucking hate cats. But what is that going to do? What is that going to do with Palestine? What's that going to do with the ongoing genocide? I'm asking you what you've done, and then it spirals for there. It comes back. I mean, this is verbatim. We wrote, I write Free Palestine constantly. That's his sentence. I write Free Palestine constantly. Oh fucking hell! Somebody won the IDF. Here comes fucking Chad for California writing Free Palestine. I mean, once that news reaches Gaza, everything will be fine. It's like, so that's it. So you're basically, that's what you do. You sit on the internet, you find campaigns to jump on, and you write Free Palestine, and then you abuse the people involved, and whatever side you see is wrong. That's what you do, Chad. Oh, fuck you, I'm not your mate, you're a cunt, and all that. Right, there you go. That's where it got to, the whole conversation. He done nothing, and I found one more on YouTube, and I said, I wonder if this is the same time again. Catherine's a coward, Radar are cowards, they should have shut the fucking thing, but this is not on. Click through, YouTube, 300 fucking subscribers, Michael Bublé videos. That's it. Michael fucking putting a recipe with onions. So is that what you do? Where's the Palestine flags? Where's you showing any support at all? Why are you on all these other accounts telling people they should be using whatever platform they have to support this, and you're doing nothing? You're not even writing Free fucking Palestine. And it's after that, like, this is just the same time and time again. It's just completely performative, with people saying, if you don't agree with us, you support the mass murder of children, and we're not going to believe it, and this has no relation to us. And telling someone like Radar, when you're not promoting, you've got no understanding of the situation, that they should just carry on regardless, from Bob Vylan down, is idiotic. Now, I don't know if people understood what she was saying in the interview. They were not opening the venue. So, you can be as fucking headstrong as you like. If the venue doors are locked, and the lights are off, and there's no power, there is no show. So you can sit with fucking Bob Vylan in a fucking car park if you want. I don't know how that's helping anybody's cause. So you just torching your festival to say, oh, we were going to go ahead and do it anyway and we stood in a car park. How is that benefiting anyone?
Absolutely. They're risking tens, if not hundreds of thousands of pounds. And if the festival doesn't happen, they're going to lose a lot of money, probably lose their houses. Ridiculous. Like, anyone listening to this that thinks that way needs to really think hard about what they're saying, because they're good people, right? I don't know them well. I've looked them in the eye, and they're fucking nice people. They're just nice, gentle people, and they're not trying to fuck anyone over. And they wanted Bob Vylan to play their festival, and they couldn't have a festival with Bob Vylan on it, and that isn't their fault. It's the fucked up fucking system we live in, where some unelected people, shadowy people in the background, have decided that cannot go ahead, whether that's a police person or a council person, someone or a Live Nation venue person. I don't actually know who stopped it. Whoever stopped it, that's the people that you should be cross with, not fucking Radar.
Because that's the argument goes back, because they hear that bit and they go like, oh, we hear you, but this is why the problem, that's why this fucking band, the Scratch, have pulled out. It's a case of, we don't even disagree with Radar that much. It's like, if we don't pull it, we're showing that this shadowy fucking hand in the distance, like cancelling it, it has got its way. I mean, we can go on to Scratch in a minute, but that point would be like, just shut the festival then. Stand with Bob Vylan and shut the festival. Like, I don't know, but that's, let's call it conservatively £300,000 they lose. Radar have nothing. £300,000 is the end of them. There is no more Radar. And probably debts for the rest of their fucking lives, right? So, what have you achieved there? What have you achieved? You've managed to shut down a festival that originally was trying to give a platform to Bob Vylan as a headliner to share his message, but they knew his message. So, and where's the GoFundMe for? Who's standing with Radar?
Yeah.
The Did Bob Vylan, in the conversation that we weren't privy, did Bob Vylan go, you know what? Waive the fee. Don't worry about my fucking eye-watering fee that I'm about to take for this festival. Don't worry about, like, waive it. Or stick me on in a different venue. I'll not take a fee, stick me on a different... Let's make a stand together. Let me help you. Let me help you make this happen in some way we can still say fuck system. I guarantee none of that happened. I guarantee he was like, no, it's your problem. Get it sorted. I want my full fucking fee. And if you can't do it, I'm going to... Well, I thought it was being pretty supportive, but it turns out that might not be the case.
No, absolutely.
And if you've got... I know, James, and I know you're like, this is maybe a wee bit easier for me to get involved in because you work in that world and you deal with these people. I don't book Bob Vylan, so this is not a consideration for me to be his friend. But this again, let's torch Radar. I mean, like, no one stood with Radar. Like, Radar don't have the Prodigy to put their arm around them and say, oh, by the way, come and play a show with us in Greece. They don't have Pendulum to say, oh, come on. They don't have Massive Attack writing a fucking statement for them. All they've got is Joe and Catherine sitting there with their livelihoods in fucking tatters and being called genocide enablers by people who are doing nothing. I mean, no one's offering to go with Radar. No one's saying, listen, guys, I'll put 20 grand in the pot. Listen, guys, I'll make sure... Let's cancel the whole fucking thing and we'll all pitch in together and make sure you guys are the ones carrying the 300 grand can. Loss of reputation, loss your festival, and nothing to go into in 2026. Because Bob Vylan's just going to move on. That's his brand. He's going to have a show on Friday or tonight with the Prodigy. What happens to Radar? Nothing. They're fucked. And the people that are moaning about it don't care either. So Radar dies and they just watch it die. And move on with a shrug.
Yeah. And then... So, I mean, this is quite tricky for me to talk about because I'm so busy at the festival. In an ideal world, I wouldn't be talking about this now because I find it... I feel that I'm not adequately researched for this. But last night it became apparent that on Bob Vylan's Instagram stories there was a thing which says they're like, I don't know what you call it, collaborators, is it? On the Instagram story. Someone's put this story up, but it goes... Yeah. But they collab it, so it goes on Bob Vylan's feed. And it basically is a very short thing that says Radar Festival has deplatformed Bob Vylan for standing against genocide. We call for a full boycott. So that came out last night. I mean, my mind exploded when I saw it. I thought it was a fake. When someone sent it to me, and I didn't think it was real. But it would appear that it is real, right? I mean, it's on their Instagram.
Can you imagine being in the pro-Israel Jewish lobby and the amount of effort and work you've taken and the amount of lawyers were involved and the work it was taking to get to the right people to get Bob Vylan removed from that festival? And then you wake up the next day and you're like, look, these fucking idiots are doing it for us. There's a band called The Scratch who are now pulling out. Like, they must have been fucking clapping and like, oh my god, we made all this effort to drag this festival and Bob Vylan into the fucking dirt, and now they're doing the work for us. How does that benefit anyone but the pro-Israel or the Jewish lawyers? I don't understand. How does the Scratch, and they're coming out and going, oh, we don't really disagree with Radar, and we know their hand was forced, but really it's about standing and showing solidarity, and you're a bit like, it's such a fucking... You've just went full circle to exactly what these lawyers wanted to do in the first place. And again, no one's standing with Radar. So, you're not just going to move on with your fucking jobs and get shows elsewhere, and Radar are left with a £300,000 bill in their lives and tatters. And don't hit me with that when you listen to this, oh, but it's about fucking kids dying in Gaza. That you can't just hold that top trump as like that's your other side of the argument. Radar getting cancelled or not getting cancelled is not getting food into Gaza. It's not... You haven't won anything by killing Radar.
They're fucking lefties that want to free Palestine, Radar are, aren't they? I mean, come
exactly.
on.
They're as fucking left as can be. No wonder the fucking left in this world is all such a shit show. And you've got fucking gammon-head fucking Nigel Farage and Donald Trump and fucking Keir Starmer acting like a Tory. Because the left are fucking cannibalising each other.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm actually really quite angry. And I feel like I'm going to park this and talk about it another time. Some of it. Because I don't want to go in fully in where I want to go with this. What I actually really want to say about what happened last night, until I know that it's not going to be retracted by Bob Vylan, or there wasn't some misunderstanding. I want to at least take a breath before I fucking press the nuclear button, because I feel like really quite sad and quite angry about where it seems to have ended up. It's
Yeah.
fucking weird. I'm sorry I can't.
No, listen,
It's
you're
a shit
not doing a
podcast
spot.
where you're like, I'm not going to say anything, but I'm like, life is full on right now.
No, absolutely, James. And I don't listen. People understand the fact that you're here. That you don't jump into stuff. I mean, I had the chance to see this and read through these comments, and it's a bit like, if you can't explain to Radar how to host a festival in a closed building, or you're not willing to stump up the money they're about to lose for taking your stands with you, then it's not about me saying shut the fuck up, because I'm not being flippant about this. I mean, I've got a situation where I am now reading Celtic Football Club groups who I'm walking in to the stadium and standing beside with the Palestine flags waving and contributing to the donation boxes for the humanitarian aid or food packages outside. I am now reading this in this fucking weird world we're in, where they are calling for the boycott of Radar Festival when they don't even know what Radar Festival is. Like, they don't even know that the people of Radar would also be contributing to those humanitarian food boxes. It's like, it makes no fucking sense. All you're doing is leaving this. All you're just is leaving the whole fucking market open to the fucking right wing gammons to then just come in and like, all we'll do now is we'll just have huge big corporation nationals festivals, and we won't have radars and damnations and art tangents and fucking trees whenever something that's out with our power happens, and we're just left fucking carrying the can. So
Yeah,
James, we said we were going to have a fun one today. I'm getting myself really angry.
Good luck with that.
I'm getting myself really angry. And listen to this. This is the sound of success, mate. Fuck. So, listen, the podcast sold really well. And do you want to say anything else to wrap up? I just feel like you're continually getting put in the spot. You've not had the chance to look into this properly.
It's tricky because I felt, the last thing I'll say is, I felt frustrated because last week I gave my opinion on last week's episode, but when we were talking to Catherine, but because of the connectivity issues, my opinion didn't actually make it to the podcast. And now the world's moved on again, and I've got a new opinion, and I don't. Basically, this is my career, right? And I don't want to. I am quite angry and quite sad about what's happened in the last 24 hours, and I don't want to torpedo anything without properly knowing what I'm talking about. So we'll come back to it. Someone should ask me at the live show at Trees when I've had 6 pints and I'm all happy.
This is definitely a story for the Christmas. If there's any tickets left by the time this comes out,
mate, you're the king of segues. Go.
If there's any tickets left when this comes out, then that is definitely. We're going to talk in depth about the whole kneecap situation. We'll be talking in depth about the whole Bob Vylan situation from Radar. We'll be talking in depth about the headliner situation at Damnation. That's at least 3 of the topics that we'll be getting. And never mind what happens between now and fucking the date itself. 185. Like, I've got this in front of me. I'll refresh this in real time. 194 tickets at the point of recording this. That's been out for less than. General sales been out for, what's that, 5 hours.
Fucking yes, man. That's so good. That's great.
I mean, it's a weird one because this happened to us in the first. I mean, we've outsold every single show that we done in the first tour. So first off, thank you for the incredible fucking support from everyone that done it. We'll never be the biggest podcast in the world talking about these niche subjects. But I said yesterday in that group, we must have pound for pound the most supportive listenership ever. I mean, to go out to 250 subs and almost sell a ticket to 50%, what, every 1 and 2, and you're in a city in Manchester. Some of these subs are in fucking John O'Groats or France. You know what I mean? It's not like everybody's in Manchester just going to hop along and get down to the bedshed. So, unbelievable support. It may well be that we get to that whole 250 mark and then it sort of grinds to a halt and it slows the way it did that. Or it might just continue to go through and we sell the fucker out. I hope it's the latter. Either way now, it's an absolute guaranteed corkery a night because we have 200 of our friends. At least they are having the podcast itself, which is the bit that I'm like, let's get out of the way and let's just party. Let's get the podcast done, knocked in the head, and get the fucking DJs on, have a drink, and have a merry old dance.
Yeah, it's going to be great, mate. I've just had my first guest list blag, so 3 minutes before we came on, I noticed that my mum was here. I'd forgotten she was coming to put up her tent, and so I went down, I had a chat with Mum and Barbara, and they were both like, yeah, we're getting our tickets. And then there was like a pause, and I could just tell it wasn't like a we're getting our tickets thing. It was like, where's my guest list thing. Well, to be fair, you should probably put your mum on the guest list, right?
you'd be very proud to know that Mr. Joe O'Brien, that guy, he gets in touch yesterday. Goes, Gav, that's it. I'm coming to the pod in Manchester, and I was like, oh, fucking brilliant, Joe. Be class to have you done. Well, I haven't bought a ticket or anything. It's like, so I just left it silent. Got a message this morning. That's me all booked up. That guy, mate, you just need to know how to handle him. But the group's been in fire the last 24, 48 hours. I mean, it's he's been on there taking pelters for everyone. You've been taking pelters for everyone. It's been good. that group at the minute. I mean, there was a wee bit of bullshit that spilled over for the genocide enablers, the kind of people that show up with no profile picture and then just start fucking mudslinging at people in the group. But that quickly get knocked in the head, and it went back to everyone just having a fucking good laugh at us and others. So aye, that great group, great support. Fucking thank you to everyone for how great that. I mean, that the podcast. I cannot wait. I'm fucking looking forward to it so much. There may be. I don't want to say too much about. There might be 2 warm-up shows elsewhere in cities that we haven't done before. I really wanted to get Manchester, because Manchester's such a big show in comparison. I really wanted to get that one to a point where it was secure, which I suppose it is now. So would you say it? Would you say what's happening with the warm-up shows?
Looks like you're about to me.
You tell us. Well, I want to hear from you. Do you remember?
Okay, so thanks for the heads up, Gav. So Manchester is on Saturday the 13th of December. On Friday the 12th we'll be in Cardiff, and on Thursday the 11th will be in Brighton. So yeah, they're small little shows. Do we know when they go on sale? They'll be on sale. They'll be on sale by the time this podcast comes out.
They'll probably be on sale by this point. They are more traditional. The way that we've done them on the last tour. It's not an after party. It's not a big Christmas. Everyone get down here at 3 a.m. and it'll just be a traditional podcast show to let James calm his nerves. So that's why we're going to Brighton in December. Much to my wife's fucking delight, we're going to Brighton in December because James wants to.
Have you ever been to Brighton?
No.
Mate, Brighton is really nice at all times of year. It's very it's a very I don't know, it's like Bristol by the sea. Brighton is. I really like Brighton. Yeah.
My only experience at Cardiff was one of my mates' stag do's, so that was a bit messy. I don't think I got to see the nicest side of Cardiff for that weekend, and then some fucking scummy Witherspoon's pub. So, looking forward to both of them too. But it's let's get. Let's think, if you can go there local, you can't make it Manchester, but you're from Brighton or Cardiff, come along and see us, and we'll share some Christmas or festive joy with that too.
I cannot wait. I mean this sincerely. Going on that last tour was the best thing I've ever done in my entire life. So let's fucking go. I cannot wait. Cannot wait.
Now, we're going to have to hopefully have a bit of fun with this pod. Let's get a shout out to our sponsors, Lose Brews and ISO. Then I will get tanked in this. James, fucking quarter to two, and I'm sitting here with my 2 cans. It's like, my kids are going to come back and like, what's happened to you, Dad? Like, don't worry, guys. Sold out podcast star. It's fine. I can drink in.
I mean, what's worse, that you got your kids coming home, or that I'm going to emerge from this caravan after 3 cans and everyone else is out there putting up fencing. I'll be like, hey guys, I missed lunch and I've had a few beers.
Brilliant. But let's also shout out to Lose Brews. I said, what's happening with you, big man? He's going to be here. Usually, a lot of people will be listening to this on the Thursday or the Friday or the Saturday in their ears when they're at trees. So you will see us milling about. Lou, the superstar himself, will be there. He says he wants to film content. He's taking a mic with him, so no doubt at some point we're going to have some hot sauces shoved into our mouth and probably cry a little. So let's enjoy his company, because he is a good egg. He has patches. Apparently, he's restocked some patches. So if you are the kind of person who wears a battle vest who is missing the loving touch of a woman or a man, you can get a Lose Brews patch for your battle vest and keep the feather sex away for a few days longer. So go get yourself a patch, get yourself a hot sauce. His honey ones are all being restocked. Support the man, he supports us. Also, ISO merch. This is the important one in your ears. If you're at trees, they are there. They are here today, on site. after you've went for your morning loo trip and you had your coffee, make a point of going to the ISO merch stall.
Do you know what concerns me, Gav?
That they're not going to be there. They've told you yesterday they're cancelled.
Is that my brother said to me yesterday, I've just listened to the podcast, I'm not sure Gav's right about ISO merch being here. I'm like, oh, okay. So
really? I thought the whole thing was we're going to be on site at Trees and Art Tangent.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think they might not be. I mean, this I should have told you this before.
Right? James, that was
I've
great.
I've got some other shit going on, prepping the fucking episodes for you whilst putting up some fencing.
So, for fuck's sake, if ISO merch are in sight, you can go and tell them that James and James's brother have fucked up royally, and you'd love to buy a few of their t-shirts. If they're not in sight, do the right thing. ISOmerch.com. Go to their site. Go and get yourself quality merch for a fraction of the price that you're going to get it anywhere, including Damnation Trees at Art Tangent, where everything's all marked up because it needs to be. So, go and take advantage of that. Vinyl, patches, hoodies, beanies, hats. They've got everything there. It's a fucking absolute treasure trove of goodies. I hope they are in sight though, because Ali and his team are good folk and I'd love to bump into them, but maybe they're not. I will check that. Either way, go and support them. ISO merch. With Lose Brews, it's 15% off at checkout, pod 15. With ISO merch, 10% off at checkout, pod 10.
Awesome.
Questions if I can.
Let's go. Let's do it. Okay, the first question is from Andy East, and he says, what's your favourite time during the festivals?
Did you hear that? Did you hear the noise I done previously with the can?
Yeah.
Surely that's everyone's favourite time. The tents are set up, or your motorhome's parked, or I don't know if you've had your castle built, and you sit there and you crack that first can, and the prospect of the weekend ahead with friends and live music, it's just like you're here, the hard bit is done, from here on out, it's going to be nothing but joy.
Yeah. So I walk around on the sort of Wednesday at Trees when everyone's kind of scurrying around still doing the finishing touches, and as I said last week or the week before, I'm not really doing anything, and I literally just walk around going, Ollie, what time are you finishing? You know, Neil, when are we having a beer? And basically there's this time comes where we all go to the forest. So the first band's on at 2. Something like 1 p.m. we basically is like the crew meet in the forest. And I mean, it's a good time to be there, guys, because I buy everyone that I can see a drink at that point. And that first beer of like, we've all been here for fucking 3 weeks now or whatever, and we've worked hard, and it's going to happen. My adrenaline at that point is like, it's such an amazing feeling when you know it's all good. Nothing bad's going to happen. It's happening.
Have I misinterpreted the question? Like I always do. And I just thought it meant like a festival in general. It means our festivals.
It's been a while since we've had a Gav misinterpretation.
Because why on earth would I be sitting at my festival in a camp chair opening a can, waiting for the weekend ahead?
Why? No, I think it's the same. I mean, it's the same answer, just in a slightly different way, isn't it?
Aye, that's me. Other festivals, that Damnation, my favourite bit's when it finishes successfully, and it's a sad but true answer that you know that everyone who's came and enjoyed your event and went home safe, and it's been a success, because ultimately now it's after that point you can just go.
Yeah.
I just the weight off the shoulders thing. So that's as much as I do enjoy Damnation, there's always that wee knot in your stomach that something, a light could blow, a fucking amp could blow, sound could stop, an accident could happen on my watch. So it's if I'm answering it for that point of view, which is a very different feeling from sitting at Art Tangent or 2,000 Trees and crack the can and looking forward to the weekend ahead.
I mean, one of my favourite things is tomorrow. Is that tomorrow's when we put up the fencing. So tomorrow there will be about 50 people in the fencing team. No, probably more, maybe 60. And we split into like 3. So I'm the one that understands where the staking's gone. So I have to do the fencing. And so there's 2 types of fencing. There's the solid one you can't see through, and then there's the Harris fencing that you can see through. So you've got like most people doing Harris. You know the Harris goes into blocks. You've seen that, the blocks that the Harris goes into. I mean, you are fencing at Damnation, don't you? So, and literally we'll do 5 kilometres of Harris fencing in a day, and it is satisfying. And there's literally a team. There's a team ahead of us with a buggy and a load of blocks, and the driver's Pete Randall. What a legend! He comes every year, drives along, and then two guys chuck the blocks out. They try and get them 3.5 metres apart. And then the fencing team just flies behind them, just going woof, 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 like 40 people. There's a telehandler driving alongside us with a stillage of Harris fencing. Two people, you just pick it off, put it in the blocks, pick the next one off, put it in the blocks. Honestly, 5 kilometres goes up in a day. It's mad. And then the really horrible job is the solid fencing, which Ollie and Rich will lead, and Mark. You've got to be really careful about forgetting to mention Mark because he doesn't like it. That's a hard, heavy job that they do. But at the end of tomorrow, we'll all have a beer in the sunshine and everyone will be knackered. It is proper, full-on day. I'll do like 15,000 steps tomorrow around the field, just getting fencing up. It's fun. I love it. It's going to be good.
Okay. Sean Gorman. July 2nd was exactly halfway through the year. How's the spreadsheets looking?
Mate, I put this in just for you because I feel like you're leaving it late. I'm going to guess your spreadsheet hasn't been started. So what he's really saying is, album of the year is coming, guys. We're halfway through. What have we got? And the answer is, there isn't a standout album of the year for me yet. And if there was, I wouldn't tell you what it was. But there really isn't. There's about 10 albums that I think are the best albums so far this year. And that is Code and Cambria, McCluskey, The Mars Volta, Garl's Weird. Do you know Garl's Weird? Yeah, it's like Garl from fucking what was he in? I don't know, like Dark Throne or something.
He started with Gorgoroth to start with, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He's in Godseed.
Oh mate, you're good metal knowledge. I tried to trip you up, but you got that. His new album's really good for Opeth fans. Model Actress, Amplifier, Idolairs, Pup, Stephen Wilson, and Messer are my favourite albums so far this year. I'm really waiting for something to land where I'm like, this is the album of the decade, and I haven't quite had that yet.
You're such a mark that fucking that Mars Volta one scraped its way in. It's like you're such a fucking.
Well, we might talk about it at the end of the year.
Well, 3 albums that should definitely feature. I mean, there's no way in any world that We Lost Is Happy, We Lost the Seed album release date to everyone who celebrates.
Is that today?
Today. It is today. It's fucking incredible. They've already, it's been a busy wee morning, like getting the general sale on for those for the pod tickets. But I did notice between people were saying, "Oh, Gav was right. It is a fucking masterpiece." Obviously, that's definitely going to be in there. The Dim Skewer record is definitely going to be in there, and I really fucking love the Dead Guy record. Not the kind of music you'd like, sort of angry, old school, somewhere between metalcore and hardcore, sort of band influence to like Dillinger, Escape Plan and Converge. Their new records out and it's fucking great as well. So that's 3 that definitely will feature in some fashion. Nothing else off the top of my head. So to be fair, I'm 3 records deeper than I was by December last year. So I feel like I'm in a good spot, Sean.
Good. Did you listen to Idolairs?
I did, the first tune, and I actually really enjoyed the first tune because I was like, is this like, I can't say Maynard or Menard. When I was saying it, do people say I say Menard?
Yeah.
And I should say Maynard.
Yeah.
Fucking deal with it. The fucking gimps, man, I swear to God, 2 hours of fucking content. And he's like, oh, didn't he say Menard right? So,
whoever put that comment up, I copied and pasted it and sent it to Gav on WhatsApp. It's like...
Fucking hell, man. So that's I did, and I was kind of getting it. So I need to go back to it. It was one of the ones I went into the gym and I listened to the first tune. When I'm in the gym, I just like electronic dance music with some fucking meaningless beat in the back. So I changed it, but I need to go back to it. I haven't given it. I've actually treated that a wee bit like you treat my recommendations, like offhand dismiss them. So I need to. I'll try harder, James. I'll try harder.
Good. I believe in you. Okay, Graham Johnson says, question for both of you to lob a hand grenade into the pod. What annoys you most about your fellow host?
Would you want to go first to see how much I want to kick into you?
Yeah. You don't annoy me. The thing that occurred to me to say at this point is you're an interesting person to communicate with because you're all over WhatsApp, right? and you're obviously Mr. Social Media. You're like the social media personality of the UK rock scene, right? But you don't answer emails, do you? So emails are very much like, every so often I'm like, if I send this on WhatsApp, it's going to get lost. This is too important for WhatsApp, so I'm going to send Gav an email, and it's just like tumbleweed. It doesn't annoy me. It's fine, but.
And I get what you mean. I get what you mean. Like, I'm so responsive and it's there all the time. I just find fucking that inbox so demanding and challenging. It's like, it just drains life. It feels like you log in, it just feels like you never get to the bottom of what it is.
No, emails not work. People think emails work. It's not. It's just you wasting your fucking time.
It's absolutely fucking brutal with something. So, I mean, and also, we can chat, so a voice note or, as you say, WhatsApp, we're on it right away, and then you send the same thing, email, even if it's quite important, then 3 days later you go, so what did you think of that plan, Gav? And I'm like, what plan? And didn't even see it, never mind fucking respond to it. So I take that on board. When I was talking to the guy from C Tickets who's handling our podcast show, ticket agency, he's fucking on it. Like, I could like every time you finish typing, he sends whatever thing is straight back, and I'm like, mate, you're fucking rapid at this. He goes, I have made my whole career of just responding quickly, and he goes, it's amazing how effective it is in this industry when everyone else just goes, I will get to it at some point. I was like, fucking, you're damn right. I need to actually have a wee shot at that, because that's quite impressive and getting stuff done. So I take it on board. Likewise, you don't. Genuinely, you don't. I love to fucking rip the arse at you, but you don't annoy me. Sometimes you let me go on a fucking Gav's booting off or a Gav rant, right? Sometimes on your behalf, on your festival's behalf, like the time it was like an art tangent clash a few weeks back, and I'm fucking going off in one about people complaining, and you go, quite. I mean, it's like James, fucking show a bit of solidarity here, mate, for fuck's sake. Quite, I'm ready to bat for you. Like, let's go, I'll take on this fucking mass of art tangent virgins, and you're like, quite.
Good. Art tangent virgins.
That Graham Johnson is my friend who is coming to you've kindly given him and his kids tickets to you met him, the big fucking tall guy, probably talked to you about running endlessly. He is coming down for his first stream, mad kneecap fan, so gee, nice try there to try and split up the podcast to episode 80 or whatever it is. Michael O'Donovan, how many pints of beer are sold at your festivals?
Well, Michael, I found out the answer to this question, and we sold at 2000 Trees last year 20,000 pints of the lager, and then we have lots of different IPAs. If you go to the Arbor Bar, there's loads of them, but there's one that's on every bar. It was called Mosaic. We sold 11,000 pints of Mosaic. We sold 9,000 Stowford Press Apple, 8,000 Stowford Press Mixed Berry. And my favourite thing of all is that we sold nearly 2,000 White Russians. And that makes me want to cry with joy about what a wonderful audience we have. That if you put a stupid drink on a menu that no other festival would have, and it's a right pain in the arse for the bar, because they're like, that is a lot of milk, and milk goes off, right? So milk goes off. So there's no like sell or return on milk. You buy too much milk, it's going in the bin. It's a hard one to do. 2,000 White Russians, wonderful.
And I think that I am responsible for a good chunk of that. It's like I've not had a White Russian from the day that I left the Art Tangent field last year. And the first thing I'll do when I get to 2000 Trees field is once the bar's open, I'll have a White Russian. And I don't know why. It's like going to the Barrowlands and drinking a Barrowlands diesel. I don't drink diesel anywhere, but I go to Barrowlands and I have a Barrowlands diesel. I go to 2000 Trees or Art Tangent, I have a double White Russian, and that's just the rules. Them's the rules. So brilliant. Looking forward to it. It's such a soothing. But don't get me wrong. Well, it's a double one like 14 or 16 quid. I mean, it's fucking ridiculously priced. Because,
you do realise that basically, see, this is a common mistake that people make. There's no reason to order a double White Russian. Because what does that even actually mean? They're mentally the bar staff get confused. It breaks their brains. They double the price, and next thing you know, you're buying a 15 quid drink. But if you think about what's in a White Russian, what do you want? Double the milk? What is it? What are you asking for here?
Nothing makes sense at a festival. Double White Russians are the way forward. You feel for some reason that...
Do you know what you should do? Buy 2 White Russians and drink them both. Don't buy a double White Russian. Doesn't make
Mate,
sense.
fucking brain just exploded there. That is an option. You can just buy 2 White Russians.
Yeah.
Don't make them double for the same price.
It's a better option.
That I'm looking forward to getting down there, and I mean, so for whatever reason, in a field, White Russian, it just feels right. It's just. I mean, I've went to download the Hellfest and drinking a White Russian. I think this is the weirdest thing ever, but it just works at a tangent in 10,000 Trees.
Whenever I see an agent, or if I've got a new friend comes and they've not been, and I'm like, "Do you want a drink?" And they're like, "Yeah, I'll have a pint of IPAs." I'm like, "Do you know what a White Russian is?" And people are always like, "What? Really?" But almost always they say yes, and they don't regret it.
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I don't know. I've got no cut at the bar, and I think if I did know how many pints were sold, it'd just break my heart a little bit that I wasn't getting any of it. So I don't know the answer to it. What does surprise metalheads, Damnation fans, myself even to start with, is when we first went down there, we were going at the Billy Big Boss chat to the venue owner Simon, like, "Oh, you'll never see a crowd like this. We're like pint in hand for the first band and to pint in hand to the last band, and we can go for it. And we're big drinkers, big boys, big Slayer fans drinking our beers," which is true. Damnation fans like yourself, you go there and you're just going to have a beer in hand, and he's like, "Oh, that's great," and what you don't understand until you see it in first person is these raves, the Sidewinder ones, they've got fucking 21-year-old lasses with a tray of 16 fake Jaegers and a plastic bottle of wine that they've just spent like £94 or more at the bar, and then our pals behind them with another 2 bottles of rosé, and then they drop it and spill it and think nothing of it and go back up and do it again, and they just do that continuously. So we're a bit like, "Oh, what's the bar taking, Simon?" "Oh, 200, 300, 400 grand. Like, "Oh, that must be amazing." He goes, "Aye, Sidewinder was like 600 grand. And then when you actually see it in person, you just see everybody just buying trays of vodka Red Bulls at like £9 a drink with shite vodka and Blue Charge, and they're just calling them vodka Red Bulls, and they don't care. Like, these crowds, they do not give a fuck about drinks prices. They just go, "I ain't bother." You go to Damnation and it goes up for £5 to £6. Somebody's trying to fucking burn an effigy of me in the fucking front gates. It's like, no, we're not paying that. So it's big drinkers at Damnation, but nothing in comparison to the absolute space cadets you get at like the raves.
The thing is,
Manchester Adore style places, the ones I'm watching.
It's like
Gallagher getting absolutely wasted.
When I was a student, you're going out to get drunk, right? And if you're going to fucking Manchester Adored or a rave, you're going out to get fucked up. Whereas I don't think at a festival, you know that eventually the finishing point is that, but you're not trying to race there. No. You're not trying to desperately get there quickly because you really want to see Tool headline the festival or whatever. You know, I still want to watch Corrosion of Conformity, and I don't want to forget it. So I'm trying to get to that point, but not quickly.
And it's not. I suppose if you're mid-40s and you're still a mad shothead, then you probably get issues. I mean, like going to the bar at noon and saying, "Mate, can I have 7 Jaeger bombs?" is a bit like, that's probably not the way to do it. But that's definitely how these we'll call them kids because we're old men. These 21-year-old girls or women are getting in and going like, "Let's just get fucked up." I mean, you're there. You feel like it. I mean, I went down a couple of days. I wanted to see the different ideas now the venues using. You're like, Matt, there with Kelly, and I feel like the two should have a fucking Zimmer frame and a fucking walking stick. You get some girls walking past, no much different for age of cadence. They're fucking dropping the trays of fucking angels. Like, how much money's in that? And you're not even are you going to drink any of them? How pissed are you at 3 o'clock? Like, the concerned granda. Come on, doll, get yourself covered up. Kelly's trying to take him for a bottle of water. Come on, Rachel, let's get you a wee bottle of water. She said, "Fuck off, Granny, I'm going to party."
Mate, right now all the extreme leftists and the extreme right wingers that have come here to listen to us talk about Bob Vylan are really confused by what the fuck's going on.
Aye, and also, this is the fucking podcast you clown. See people going, "Oh, when is that?" I noted, because I knew people would just want to hear the Bob Vylan, but I noted, I done the nice thing and said, "You don't even need to listen to us having our weekly podcast about shit that we talk about to the listenership. Just skip to that." People are still going, "Fuck, I had to listen to 2 pricks talking about putting up tents. What's a king pole?"
Eat that, you fuck.
Get it right fucking round you.
Amazing. Okay, Benno Campbell says, "What are your 3 favourite pieces of merch you own?"
Oh, I gave this a quick battle. Now, my first
Well, in the
when
20 minutes you've been awake today, you gave this a quick
I
thought.
looked at this one because I'm like, that's one I'm going to have to get. So I happen to be wearing my Cult of Luna Eternal Kingdom T-shirt the day Niall was born. So when Kelly went into labour, I was wearing that T-shirt, and she called it the No Stitches T-shirt. So she said, when Charlotte was born, pack that fucking, that's a good luck T-shirt. I don't want any stitches again, so pack that T-shirt and wear it again. And I did. And Cadence was here. I don't remember if it was a water buff. I don't remember there ever been any stitches involved. So that is up the loft, doesn't get worn, sort of sentimental to my kids. I mean, it was a tight medium. I mean, now it will literally be painted on me, but it's up the loft. It's sentimental. I love that T-shirt because I was wearing it when both my older kids were born. So I love that. I've got a Shells T-shirt that's signed by Mehdi. And back then I was never getting T-shirts of bands even me, but Mehdi for Shells is such a fucking lovely gent. And he signed a Shells one that I really like that's up in the loft as well. And I really like my I've got an olive green Damnation hood that's my favourite hoodie. That I love the colour of it, I love the everything about it. The one thing is, I don't know if it's merch or not, but I have a bottle of Jaeger here signed by Carcass on both sides.
And that is fucking cool, man. I love it.
So, I mean, I've always sung it to Gavin. I mean, it says to Gavin 3 times in it, so I take it every member of the band to put on their own to Gavin.
They're all smashed.
Right. I think Kelly got that sorted for me. So pretty cool that. I've got the fucking Damnation skateboard deck, I've got the Damnation beers there, I've got the hot sauce. There's a lot of really cool shit, but actual items are clothes. Those 3 are things that kind of stand out.
For me, there's a 2000 Trees Frisbee that we did years ago with some like record label collaborations like Big Scary Monsters and I think Alco Pop and I Started the Fire, which is pretty cool. It had like a QR code on it that you could download a compilation album. I like stupid merch like that. Like, have I ever used it as a Frisbee? No, but I like just knowing it's there in my house. The Mars Volta entire discography box set that I dropped fucking 750 quid on or whatever is amazing, but also stupid and ridiculous.
We need to give a shit, considering we both got them for free. That Dragged Into Sunlight box set's pretty impressive.
Incredible. And I've got a number of items here from it with me. The flag I told you about, but also some of the other things which we won't mention on a family podcast. And finally, talking of drugs, the Busk rolling tray is fucking awesome. And I think I might have lost my one. I know Tom Begley's currently a couple of episodes behind, but when he catches up with this, maybe he can send me a new one. He must have one, because I really think it's cool. You can use it I used to use it as a pen holder because it's perfect for that, and it says Bosk on it, but also good if you want to have it as a rolling tray. So yeah.
I thought I've got Bosk rolling papers somewhere, and I thought it was in his drawer beside me, but they're definitely kicking about here somewhere. I've always been like, not quite sure what to do with this.
What you should do is bring them to 2000 Trees. That's what you should do. Okay, David KDY, that's what his surname says. David Cuddy. Who are the biggest bands in the rock metal scene, classic or modern, that each of you absolutely can't stand, or just don't get, despite their popularity, and why?
I mean, there's a whole run
all of them for you.
All of the modern class. I mean, but there's ones I can get nothing from. Like, I can enjoy a wee bit of Iron Maiden. I can enjoy quite a lot of Metallica. I can enjoy some of Slayer. It's there's bands that that I take a piss at a wee bit, that I do quite, that wouldn't mind seeing and have gone and watched. But there's bands, there's this middle rung of American radio metal bands that I get nothing from, and actually it's a displeasure to be in the earspace with that. Shinedown, Disturbed, Five Finger Death Punch. I don't even know if I could tell you if Shinedown or Five Finger Death Punch played, if that was them playing, but I know exactly how they sound. Just nondescript, completely fucking flavour-free radio metal from America. It's utter nonsense. It's hugely popular. It gets a lot of airtime, and it gets a lot of big slots at a lot of these festivals, major festivals. And I don't understand it at all. It's total pish.
I mean, for me, I agree with you on that answer completely. I there's a few big ones that I felt like I should like that I don't really. So I don't really like Judas Priest, and I don't know why, because I really like Iron Maiden, but I've never got on with Judas Priest. I mean, as far as I can tell, Kiss are shit. I can't even understand what the fuck's going on with Kiss. One of they're not a big band, but they're very, very critically acclaimed band that I don't get is Code Orange. I just don't understand it at all, in the slightest. People talk about it like it's the second coming of Christ, and it's just fucking... I just don't like it. There's something else that came to my brain, which is gone again. Oh, no. So, really, if we're honest, Slipknot have never released a classic album. I think if you want a band that plays hits, Slipknot are your men. And Duality is one of the best metal songs ever written, and they've got some bangers. I mean, literally, if you said to me, put a song on to create a mosh pit at a fucking rock club, I would put Duality on. It's the best one.
Right.
But Slipknot are not that good. They're not a great band like Metallica are a great band. They're not a great band like Iron Maiden are a great band. They don't have a classic album. And come at me, because I know some people will be fucking screaming at their fucking...
I mean, I don't want to be the man supporting the... I mean, but the self-titled debut in Iowa are pretty fucking heavy hitters.
Mate, I was all over the debut when it came out. If you listen to it now, it's not that good. It's full of filler. Iowa is just largely songless. I'm quite enjoying this because this is going to piss people off. They're all right. They're at their best when they're just writing catchy songs, but you know, they're just not that great.
Actually, we were talking about bands recently that I was going to make the comparison to Slipknot when it's so sanitised, that live show. Slipknot's live show is the most sanitised, rehearsed metal show in the history of the world. I mean, for 20 years to be doing the everybody sit down and jump up, for the guy with the fucking long nose or whatever who is there now, going on the wee treadmill at the time he's supposed to do it, to hit the metal cans, the beer kegs, it's just... Every bit it's just orchestrated within it's just, there's no danger to it whatsoever.
It was cool the first time you saw it though, right?
It was cool the first couple of times I saw it, and it's like, oh my god, this feels like absolute chaos. And now it's just I mean, and I get it. I take it you go and see a lot of shows of like that's the set list they're playing to the pyro that they're using, but with Slipknot just feels like it should feel a bit more dangerous than what it is. It feels so rehearsed.
Well, the removal of the masks, and then Corey. So the removal of the mask was disappointing because you're like, Corey Taylor is terrifying, right? It turns out no, he's not. And also him then going back to Stone Sour and writing a load of radio rock fucking metal like the bands you just described, actually, Firefinger Death Punch and fucking Disturbed. It's like, that's disappointing. It kind of ruins I quite like the illusion of, it's probably better if we never know who the Sleep Token singer is. It makes it more otherworldly. Once you realise that he looks like Corey Taylor, it's kind of disappointing.
Aye.
So yeah.
Completely. I don't know how we went off tangent. Slipknot took a bit of doing there, but there you go.
They weren't even in my notes. I quite enjoyed that. They just came to me as a bolt of lightning.
I'm thinking, is that second beer like the eyes? I can see you getting like, let's get a bit in about some Eggmania.
Mate, I think we are, and I think we should have a toilet break, and I might make myself something else.
Let's pause. And we're back. Does Bri even need to edit that? Have we mastered it now? We're going for a pee break, stop, then back in and we go?
Yeah, we're good, man. We're good.
Bri, take a week off, mate. We've got this. And a completely unnecessary third can of Stowford Press. My hangover's sitting just behind the eyes, right? Going, Gav, I'm here, mate. You should feel like dog shit. And I'm just knocking back these cans like, I'll talk to you later, pal. We'll have a chat tomorrow.
Yes, getting yourself ready for festival time.
I'm coming fully hydrated. I'm taking your advice. I'm coming fully hydrated, full of fucking dark berry. So where were we? Look up how I don't even know what this means. Exactly how much are you spending on Scotch eggs this year? Is this a question to you? Is this an in-joke?
Well, we because the one thing our crew know is that when you have lunch with us at 2000 Trees and Arctangent, you get Scotch eggs with your lunch. And so earlier on, I was prepping for the pod, and so I radioed Simon on the radio channel that everyone's on, and I was like, mate, I know you're busy. He's in his caravan working on the sales and marketing plan for next year. He's busy, probably a little bit stressed. And I was like, don't spend too long thinking about this, mate, but do you know how much we spend on Scotch eggs each year? And he went and did some research, and the answer is over 300 quid a year on Scotch eggs. And he said we spend the same, if not double, on Toblerones. So there you go.
Toblerones? Oh, is this a wee treat that's in the barn for the...
Yeah, mate, last night at about 11... So Si didn't arrive till like 11 p.m. last night, so we were kind of at the end of the session. He drove in from Sheffield, and he's like, I'm not sure if it's too late to open Toblerones. It's like, you're asking a drunk person if it's too late to open... I'll have a Toblerone. So yeah, Scotch eggs and Toblerones.
Okay, so 300 quid in that. I maybe shouldn't say this if Andy listens, but you said you were going to help us out with a wee catering band this year. Is the Scotch eggs in there? Is the Scotch eggs in the catering band?
No. The catering is not done by us, so I don't know what they'll be.
But it's very good.
Yeah. It's great, really good. You'll have a nice time there. So, by the way, Andy, I said to Andy yesterday, you haven't listened to the podcast, have you? And he's like, no. I'm like, well, you get rinsed 2 weeks running, mate, so you need to catch up. So he's a bit scared, I think.
I said, Kelly's at me last night. Oh, so what's the plan? And we'll do this. And she goes, and you mentioned about the power thing. I said, oh, well, that's very political. That's like when you get there, you see a big smiley guy, like he's got he's got a wee Mary Poppins bike. Just say hello and thank you, right? Just say hello and thank you. That is the man we need to appease to keep the power, Kelly.
The power will be there. I guarantee it.
Our good friend Evan.
Yeah, he says, would be interested to hear Gavin and James's thoughts on the new AstroWorld documentary on Netflix. So
you did sneak this in. I was about a football good chat about AstroWorld. You sneaked this in as a wee question, did you?
Yeah, we didn't want to have it straight after the Bob Vylan radar stuff.
Okay, I know that. Yeah. The thing is, we've done the break there, and I just feel fucking great. I feel like I'm enjoying having a bit of a chat. I've got festival land and fucking holidays to look forward to. I'm sitting having my wee drinks and I'm like, this is great. And now you're taking me back to the deep and dark places. I'm not laughing at fucking Slipknot.
Can I just let you into? I want to let the audience in. Basically, the sun's gone in, and I've gone really dark. So what I'm going to do is this, because you can't see me. Can you see me now?
Yeah. That's the podcast experience.
This is the world's worst podcast, isn't it?
Tenfold.
Right.
There's a big handsome bastard there, all fucking lit up.
There we go. Carry on.
So, the AstroWorld doc. So anyone who hasn't watched that, a big festival across in the States with Travis Scott, it's his festival, sort of based in a theme park, or the idea of a theme park that he used to go to when he grew up that closed down. It was a fucking shit show. The whole thing is difficult to watch. You're just like, no, it'll stop now. It'll stop like. One disaster after another disaster after another disaster that led to, was it 12 deaths in the end? With people being crushed in one side of the crowd. It's fucking horrendous to watch. It's like, especially that section where people are getting crushed and they're trying to get them to stop the show. And it just keeps going, It's like fucking horrible to watch. So, well, firstly, what do you think of the AstroWorld documentary? Then we'll kind of talk about it for our sort of health and safety points.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously really bad. So, obviously, the people that own it, I think it was Live Nation, have kind of disputed some of it, or they're at least batting it back. But it didn't come across in a great light today, because there are literally people ringing 999 from the mosh pit. There are people shouting at security guards, and essentially they're saying people are dying in here. There's people being given fucking mouth to mouth and CPR, and they just carried on the show. I think we touched on this at the time. I'm not really going to blame Travis Scott. He's fucking up on stage. How the fuck does he know what's going on? The one bit that I'm sure he regrets, the one bit he should, although he did, he's a sort of apology video the following day was very fucking dismissive for like 12 fans dying or however many. If I've got that number wrong, sorry. I've got 8 in my head, but it was around that, yeah.
Right, okay, I know no track like fucking the lost leg, I just didn't know what the number was. But there's one point where a guy is getting lifted out of the crowd limp, like lifeless, getting lifted out of the crowd, and he sees him and he's about like, is he okay? And at that point, like a guy, like I said, when the radio in at one point they say into his ear, I don't know if they tell him that there's 2 dead, 2 people are dead by this point, and they're going to let Drake come on as a guest feature and then the final guest. So they're like, we could cut this now, or we're going to go for another like 15, 20 minutes. At that point, they know there's a row of people in the medical tent that are either dead or dying.
Yeah, which is appalling, right? I mean, obviously, there's not a lot you can say about that. I mean, what I thought was fascinating as an event manager is that anyone who's been to like the big festival like Reading or Download will know that they have these like mosh pit killing barriers now, where there's a front left and a front right, and you've got a pit barrier behind you and in the middle of the two sections. So if you're near the stage, it's the best place to stand at Download. It's the quietest place to stand at Download. It's once you're in there, you get loads of fucking room. It's great. You're the closest person to the stage with the most room. And they had a layout like that at AstroWorld, but the problem they had was that the crowd. So take Download or Reading as an example. The crowd enter from the back, so you naturally, anyone who doesn't know what they're doing just tries to get to the front, and then they eventually hit the middle barrier. Anyone who knows what they're doing goes around the side, but eventually it's full and it's not over full. Whereas, and actually at Download now they have a turnstile which would stop anyone else coming in. But at AstroWorld, all the people, I think it was something like 50,000 people arrive from the left-hand side. So the front left bit just got fucking nailed. It's just like it got full, and then they kept coming, and then they kept coming. And I don't know, an area of like a few thousand people was trying to be filled with all the fucking people. And it's quite hard. I mean, I've been in some gnarly packed crowds. Back in the day at Reading, it used to be mental. And at times it wasn't fun, but I never thought I was going to die. And you can't even imagine what it would be like to get crushed to death in a fucking mosh pit. It's just hard to have the air knocked out of you so you can't breathe. It's just like unthinkable.
But right from the start, it seemed like the claims of the documentary were like that somebody said, like, what is the capacity of this section? It was a bit like, oh, we're not 100% sure about that, if that's true. Then your big problem, the thing for me, right, I don't organise an outdoor festival. Like, accidents can happen at any festival. Somebody can always get dropped in their head. Like, I've got a pal, Dan Watson, and his dad came along to Damnation last year, his first time at Damnation, and was watching, I was the year before, watching Dead. It was LLNN, and it was all kicking off. And this guy I don't know, a big burly guy, but he's definitely in his 60s. And the floor's getting a bit wet, so he's getting at the edge of the mosh pit, but he goes down and smacks his head off the fucking floor. You know what I mean? So at that point, you don't know. I mean, he was out. You don't know how bad it is, and that can happen. He gets up and thankfully absolutely fine. Had a great day, great following day. He's looking forward to come back this year. But that's how I saw that happen. In the edge of a mosh pit, one slip on him, mate, go down, bang your head. Tragedy can strike at Damnation, so I'm not going to be sitting going, oh, this all happened at AstroWorld, and next thing you know, I've got something happening at Damnation. My fucking world's turned upside down. But the big difference from even being an indoor is we know how many people are coming through that gate. We've got a count of it at all times. See, as soon as you see people climbing over the fence on your side, at that point I would already be in the room with Simon and going, how are we monitoring this, or is this something that has to stop now? Because now we have no control over what the numbers are. They were coming in the hundreds, if not thousands, for every angle, like running over security. At that point, somebody like this should be like, this is getting potential to get bad. So what we're doing to, even if we're not going to cancel it, what we're doing to mitigate the problems if it does get bad. But it just seemed to be like, oh well, another 6,000 people getting, or they don't know, could be 600 or fucking 12,000 are now on site, and we have no control over the numbers. That's the first thing I was like, surely that the conversation happens, and then it's a full team of people that are now going to be like, right, everyone's a radio near. Once it starts to get dangerous, we'll tackle this. It's once you're in the capacity is over the top. Have you had any experience in that? Any festivals where you've had anyone, even if it's a small number of people getting in?
Well, I mean, you could break into 2,000 trees pretty easily if you were minded to, but you do get it on occasion, but not in any numbers. And I would be scared about running a big festival because you do have to think about capacity. But here, like our health, like Rob Safety will always say to me, you know, fuck me, there's you know over 15,000 people here, and the capacity of the Axiom is 4,000, and the main stage isn't on at that time. So when the headliner in the Axiom, how do you know it's not going to be over 4? And my answer is it regulates itself. You haven't put U2 on in the Axiom, have you? It's not fucking Chapel Rowan. It's just fucking the Sprints or Kid Capiche or whatever. They're not. 15,000 people are not going to hurt themselves to get in there. It's just not how we do the festival. So it might be 4,000 cap and 5,000 want to be in, and that would be okay, right? It can get a bit squashy, but it's not going to get dangerous. Which, I don't know, maybe one day somebody will clip exactly what I just said just before I get sentenced to 15 years in prison. But it's...
James, don't even fuck it. I don't care how the cans are do not laugh at stuff like this, because that's...
But it's like... I don't think there's a risk at a festival like 2,000 Trees, but there is a risk at all the big ones. You have to manage the capacity, and you have to have the right size acts in the right place. And it turns out you have to make sure the people, because in the documentary they do this quite interesting thing where you can see the flow of people. They've got like a graphic that does it, and they just got it totally wrong, didn't they? That area, that was always going to happen. I don't mean people are always going to die, but that area of the pit was always going to be the busy area because of how they designed it.
I'm not going to sit here and pretend that this is a different situation. Damnation is to AstroWorld and 2000 Trees and Arc Tangent, not even just inside. But the fact is, Simon is God in that venue. He's the licensee. He's the guy responsible ultimately for that. We put together a health and safety plan. It's been put together by an expert. It's presented to his team. He agrees with it. It's the guy he uses for his other events. But he's the guy. He's the decision maker. I am not the decision maker on site. The way that you or Rob Safety or whoever's got the final call are at 2000 Trees and 2000 Trees in Arc Tangent. But exactly, I mean, Pig Destroyer headline in the second stage this year on a Sunday would be the ideal slot. That's really be a bit different for them. That'd be good to have them in there. But 6,000 people watched Pig Destroyer when they last played on the main stage. It's just not possible. Putting Pig Destroyer on the second stage, even headlining, although that's where it would be billed nicest, is just asking for trouble.
Yeah.
So you need to keep that in mind. It's like things like make sure your billing's right. Make sure you've got your traffic light system. Again, I said in the previous pod, lively, red could get lively, amber, post, rock, green. And you get that, and his team know, and then there's always a show stop. There's always you can get straight to it, stop it right now, get the music on, and then that's all done separate for me. I know there's a plan in place for it, but I'm not the guy running about saying stop the show, even though I could run up to sound desk and do that. I'm not the one doing that. There's professionals that are in place for that. With this one, it seemed to be like they were making this claim that there was only one person in the world that could get into Travis Scott's ears to get him to stop it, and they couldn't get a hold of that. The director or the production director or something. It wasn't even like a safety role. It seemed like he was the guy that was responsible for Travis Scott rather than the safety of the people.
Yeah, there was the guy that one of the people in the documentary was one of the audience climbed onto a lighting tower, didn't he? So, and he's shouting at the lighting guy, "Stop the show! People are dying."
Guy, stop the show! People are dying, and fucking he's getting booed. People are fucking throwing stuff at him and saying, "No, get off the stage."
Yeah, and the lighting guys. I mean, I'm not blaming the lighting guy because they would be like, "What the fuck is going on here?" But yeah, the idea. I mean, frankly, if you wanted to stop a show, you could. There's plenty of people that could do it. The idea that you've got to tell Travis Scott is farcical because you could just go to the front of the house and just fucking turn it off. It's not that hard. Yeah, it was appalling. I think also probably made worse by the fact that the entire festival is about Travis Scott, isn't it? So if you go to download and you've got like Ghost one night and Metallica the next night and Bring Me the Horizon, the Bring Me the Horizon fans are like, I don't want to watch fucking Ghost. Whereas at the Travis Scott festival, everyone wants to watch Travis Scott. So all the people, I think it was a 30,000 cap, and there was some suggestion in the documentary that 50,000 people were there.
And if all 50,000 want to see Travis Scott.
Yeah, exactly. Anyone who's there wants to see Travis Scott. So, and just going back to the thing that calms me with any sort of capacity problems is that people aren't so desperate to see any act at any of the festivals that I put on that they will really... Eventually you're like, fuck me, this is too busy, I can't be fucked with this, I'm going to go somewhere else. It's not like you've put on the biggest band in the world. The Beatles have reformed in the Axiom. Then people are gonna crush themselves to get in there, but they're not.
Yeah.
They're not doing that for pup or
I can't stand the front section of any gig. I never go there. I'm from historically I was a mosh pit person, so I always had the space of being in an actual mosh pit where a push pit where there's the hole and you're in the middle of it. And the one time that I get caught out that I thought I was going to where the mosh pit would be, and it wasn't. It was just like the front surge of the crowd was Rage Against the Machine at Download, I think 2010. But it was like everyone wanted to see Rage Against the Machine. And I had that feeling of just getting crushed. And I managed 2 songs, did not enjoy it at all. Like, just being like this. I don't know how anybody can go in that front section and just enjoy I'm being pinned against people all directions. So I just climbed up and crowd surfed out, got round the side and enjoyed the rest of the show from a distance that I could fucking breathe and had control and emotion when about me. And that's it. It must have been absolutely terrifying. What it did with I don't take any of this lightly at all. The health and safety. I am well aware, and that example I gave of my pal's dad, I'm well aware that an accident can happen at Damnation. I'm going to speak to Paul about our health and safety. Like how do we tie that down further? What do we do more to make sure that there isn't a chance that, I don't know, there's a band that could be a bit lively and we've no earmarked it and somebody's getting dropped over the security, or the security guards that aren't made aware that, listen, whoever fucking came for that slam dunk pit better not be in the front of the terrorisers, the extreme stage when you've got crowd surfers coming over 10 a penny. Just stuff like that, because it just, people deserve better. I mean, your ticket buyers deserve better. It's the basic fucking, the absolute minimum you should do is make sure when they come in and they're safe. They can enjoy the experience without fucking having to worry about overcrowded, being pinned in or getting hurt because you've got fucking some security guards that are too busy watching TikTok.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. Thanks, Evan, for really cheering up on me. My buzz is completely gone, man. And you're dark again as well. Your buzz went dark.
It's confusing how dark I am. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems to be if you move forward, it's a contrast to something on the screen. So, are you reading Mark's question?
Would you like me to?
I'd love you to.
Okay, Mark Broster. Have you adjusted the types or genres of bands you put on the bill in reaction to other festivals coming and going, consciously or not? I.e., has Fortress influenced how much black metal you include? Ooh.
So, in a weird way, not really would be the stock answer, but definitely when Fortress, Cosmic Void, Incineration, when Incineration was a black metal festival, and it's now pivoted to like a death metal festival. It was like I felt like a pressure off my shoulders with the black metal experience, because with black metal fans you can never book enough black metal. We've got fucking tons of black metal in this year, and they still want more black metal, and it felt like. I enjoy the support of everyone, but if that's what you're after, go to those events. Damnation will never be a black metal event, and it was more of a, not that I want them to go and spend their money elsewhere, but that's going to be the reality situation. So it made me feel like just less pressure to try and get these fucking black metal bands, and maybe there was a slight subconscious, well, I don't need to try so hard to get one of these black metal bands because these people are being satisfied elsewhere. There is now an over provision of black metal shows. I mean, it's not like we've got 3 or 4 thrash metal all days. It's not like we've got 3 or 4 UK Death Fest, but there is Cosmic Void and fucking Fortress and Incineration when it was black metal. There seems to be a lot of places you can just go and scratch that itch and see those bands. So, saying that, I've ended up this year with a bunch of black metal bands. It's just how it goes. I mean, like this year we've got more black metal bands than we would normally have, and a bit less death metal bands we wanted. Sometimes it's just what's available. I mean, I'd really love a big fucking Death of the Cattle Decapitation, Dying Fetus, Obituary. I'd love one of those bands, but if they're not available, they're not available. So you just get what is available, and that so happens that there's a bunch of black metal on this. So not really, Mark, but I did feel a bit less pressure to book back black metal when there was more events doing it in the UK.
For Trees, I don't think I've really adjusted what I book based on other festivals really at all. The only thing I'd say is every so often I'm looking at a big band like a headliner and I'll be like, this feels like a real slam dunk festival band, and I might shy away from them If it's like a pop punk headliner, it's like this is almost too slam dunk for 2,000 Trees. So in that case, I might, but not really much. With ATG, I got to be careful how I say this, but I felt like the math rock thing, math rock, post rock, like the Insolvich from Afars and Maybe She Wills, the UK math and post rock thing got really overdone in the UK, and there were lots of all dayers and indoor festivals, and I did consciously go like, let's expand our offering, because all these festivals seem to be doing what Arctangent set up to do. Although then I started booking more post metal, and then I think those festivals did as well. So it's quite nice. I mean, it's nice in a way. It's like flattering. I feel like
Imagine being the promoter that was doing it first, James. Imagine being the guy that had the Cataluna and the Amon Ra first, and Bosk, when you were sitting there in there watching it going, oh, this is lovely, I'll take a bit of this.
Mate, one day somebody will give you the credit you deserve.
But not today.
Good.
Is that you done with Marks?
Yeah.
John Whittaker, have either of you considered allowing a band to curate a day or even a whole weekend at any of your festivals, like the Old Tomorrow's parties? And if so, who would you choose? Maybe you have. I'm fairly new to these festivals. I feel like we've answered this question before, James, but would you let someone curate the festival? You know why I know? Because this is your answer. Absolutely not. It's your favourite bit about doing the festival. That is the bit you thrive on, and you wouldn't hand that over to someone else. Is that accurate?
Well, kind of, but I have actually offered it to bands in the past. So there was a time when I chased architects around to headline Trees every year. I've stopped doing that actually, unless I would like. It's weird that architects have never played Trees, but there was a time when I was offering them as much money as I could afford, and I was being like, we will book some charities that you like. You can have an architect's area of charities. You can pick 10 bands on the lineup. Fucking basically, what do you want? You can have it. So that sort of like book 10 bands thing, I've offered to a few people. I offered it to Biffy Clyro at Trees a couple of times. I've offered it to architects at Trees. Mastodon at ATG, the Mars Volta at ATG. I mean, the Mars Volta can book the entire fucking festival if they want to, if they just come and play.
Be good to have a year off.
But the thing is, there's no commerciality in anyone else booking your festival. There's no way Biffy Clyro or the Mars Volta or architects know how to book a festival. They don't know how to commercially book a festival, because actually, it's tempting if you listen to me and you to think that it's just us like booking our favourite bands, but you need to sell X thousand tickets so that you don't lose your house. So you got your eye on that at all points, and just giving someone some budget and 10 bands or the whole day is gonna. And if you let the Mars Volta do it, they'd book 100 bands that no one's heard of, right? That are like playing flute solos, and it would just be shit or great to watch, but no tickets. So I'm the one who knows how to book 2,000 Trees and Arctangent. You're the one who knows how to book Damnation, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that too. I mean, I think it's wanky as fuck, basically. And I think any time I've seen an example of it, you get one bonus. This is the one bonus you get when you get an artist to curate a festival. They're able to pull off a band or two that you can't. They're able to go and get, I don't know, Red Sparrows, or I've seen it a couple of times when Roadburn that, and a band have reformed because one of their friends have asked them to come and play a day that they're creating. That is a superpower that we don't have. Sometimes money can't even get you that. After that, it's just a shit show of their fucking Spotify playlist. And also, I've always wanted to know when they're like, who's deciding the fees? Because when you're curating the lineup, and surely when you want to go to all these bands that are worth 500, 1,000, 2,000, you go, have 15 grand because we're supporting the arts and I'm bringing you back, we're going to do this. And like, are you fuck? They're not selling any tickets. No one even knows who that band are, and you're just offering them 15 grand. So where does the reality, where does the rubber meet the road in sense of, right, okay, you like that band, but they're worth 2 grand, and to get them to play we take 20. So where do we meet with that? So Aye, I've never seen a version of any of these curations that I was like, oh, that's class. However, I would admit that I have seen a couple of times where that artist is able to get a band back that us as promoters wouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good. How are we doing for time? 1 hour 24. It tells me.
Aye,
We'll keep going.
We'll go for another question, or maybe a question or two, and then we'll go for get our Patreon and on record.
Happy days. Okay, Matthew Davidson says, do you enjoy live shows that aren't from this music scene? For example, do either of you enjoy stand-up comedians or even brace yourselves musical theatre?
Absolutely not to fucking musical theatre. Musical theatre and musicals as a concept can go and fucking die, right? The only decent musical is The Greatest Showman, and the reason The Greatest Showman's a good musical is because it's supposed to be a musical. But see, when you get some barber and he starts fucking busting out to dance and singing in the middle of a fucking horror film, no, bin it all.
Mate,
live.
You're on crack. You are literally on crack. The only good musical is The Greatest Showman. Is that what you just said?
Yes, it's the best one, and I tell you what, your man for the Disney the guy who was on Baywatch, all fucking pumped up. He's brilliant in it, and so's the Sound of Success. The other guy is Hugh Jackman, fucking brilliant. Honestly, The Greatest Showman is the only one it works because they are singing at points they're supposed to be fucking singing. See the rest of it, I can't stand musicals and live theatre. I go to a panel every single year with my kids. And it's always after a lad's night out, and I'm always hanging, and I'm always in my Christmas jumper, staring at the stage, wondering if I just took a leap off the fucking balcony, would it be the end of me? And if I knew for certain it was, I would do it. But I go, because I'm a good father, I'm a good family man, and that's that side of it. Comedy, I fucking love. The problem is, a lot of folk aren't funny. Like, there is no such thing as a funny American. I mean, they have the odd joke, and maybe your man, the tool guy, who was he?
Menard.
No, but he's no fucking fudge. He's the dullest guy ever. But there was the old.
You didn't even get my joke there.
Menard.
Yeah.
No, I fucking did get it. It was just shite. So as I say, people aren't funny. So there was, it's annoying me that this name's not coming to me. He sampled it. He was quite
Bill
a
Hicks.
American.
Bill Hicks.
Bill Hicks. Yep, there's your man. So, but I even think now if Bill Hicks was still kicking about, would he even really be that funny, or is it just funny now because we're sort of immortalising him a wee bit? You get some of the old school American. But see now, like listening to Kevin Hart and. Who's the other band? Joe Rogan is the least funny man it's ever. I mean, he's quite good at his podcast, but he's the least funny man that's ever taken a stage. It's like, I don't know how these Americans, I don't know, it's just too obvious. The humour's too obvious. English comics are not great. Your best English comic is Mickey Flanagan is easily the best English comic going, and then we've got the greatest, obviously, Billy Connolly and Kevin Bridges. But after that, I love a comedy show, but it's difficult to go to ones that are actually that funny.
Mate, Billy Connolly, I would give to you, when he was at his peak, fucking incredible. I went to see him in London. It wasn't actually at his peak, but do you remember he did that joke and it was really controversial? I can't even remember what the joke was about. It really upset everyone. It was about someone who died. Someone had died and he made a joke about it. I can't fucking remember what it was. But I was at that show. Or on that tour after it had all blown up, and it wasn't actually. It turns out some things aren't funny, but Billy Connolly, fucking great. I would recommend anyone who lives in Bristol to go to the venue that me and you went to for our tour, the Hen and Chicken, because I've seen some. I really love up and coming comedy. Like
I love those ones.
If you get someone in a club like that,
when you go to those ones, the wee shows, and you get 3 or 4 comics in a row and they're coming out, they're doing 5-6 minute sets. Sometimes they're the funniest nights ever. You're just crying with laughter.
And everyone's on the biz. We used to go quite a lot in London to the Comedy Store in Leicester Square, and it's brilliant. And all the best comedians, all the famous ones, have come through there. If you're there on the right night, it's fucking incredible. Weirdly, you might not expect me to like musicals, but I do quite have a soft spot for musicals. As in, I lived in London, I went to the West End a bunch of times, and so I've seen fucking loads, mate. I've seen loads.
Surprise from our listenership. James had a box at the theatre. Oh!
A bit of Les Mis. I saw old Ewan McGregor and Is it Nicole Kidman in Guys and Dolls? That was good. Hamilton I saw recently. That was good. And I took Kit to see Starlight Express, which is like the train one. Good, mate.
Okay.
It's a good day. It's just, you know, like watching a Rammstein show. You don't have to like the music.
Yeah.
There is a lot of West End shows where it doesn't matter if you like the music, because you're like, fuck me, the spectacle, the choreography, the how do they even make this happen in a theatre?
I mean,
is pretty impressive.
To be fair, from my working class roots, I have not seen any of those shows at that scale, and certainly not in the West End of London. I wouldn't mind seeing one, and also I would like at some point to see opera at one time to know, is it utter dog shit or is it the greatest thing that's ever happened?
Mate, one of my best friends from school, she is she's quite a famous opera singer, and I can confirm that opera is dog shit.
Is it? Is it? It's not,
it
it doesn't catch you. You're not like trying to get earlier because you're just so emotionally overcome the way it shows you in the films. No,
I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. I went once. I did not, because it's not. I just didn't know what was going on, and it's long. You're like, this chair is uncomfortable, and they're not serving me beer. This is not good. But also Matthew's question, I feel like, is about other music as well. Like I do not listen to Madonna, but I love to go and see Madonna. And like I said last week on the podcast, I was really fascinated by watching Charlie XCX. So I'm open to seeing other shit. I don't want to go and watch a fucking boring indie band, but like something pop or electronic, I'm definitely open to.
Yeah, absolutely. I would happily go and see Calvin Harris at Rave. Happily go and see The National, Frightened Rabbit, that indie stuff. Happily go and see any of the bands that play Damnation, Art Tangent Trees. So Radiohead, one of my favourite bands. So I'm not going to a drum and bass show, and I am not going to a sort of super sweet, sickly pop show. But I mean, happily. I mean, Alanis Morissette's playing Glasgow tomorrow, and I was like, oh Glasgow, but sold it. And you get a VIP package, you can meet her for £975.
You must have a way of blagging there.
Yeah, maybe. Sometimes you just get that. It's the promoters you just don't know or work with at all. And also, it's one of the ones. Is Kelly going to go out on a Saturday night after drinking last night? She's a one night of the weekend type of woman. Yeah. She's no. You know what I mean? So,
how are we getting through Trees? 4 days at Trees with her.
We'll manage. She's because this is the thing I'm saying to Cadence, like, you're listening to more of the Trees lineup. What my dream is for her to go down there and be like, let's go check out Band X. I don't even know. My 50-year-old daughter going, let's go there. I'm like, that's what I want, but she lost her earpods, and now she's like, oh, I can't listen to it. the music world doesn't work unless you get the earpods back. So I'm like, this is fucking insane. So I don't know how we're going to. I think Charlotte's going to cause it, basically, and we're just going to march to her beat till it gets later at night, and then I'm just going to go and cause it when they're not there.
Great. Fucking brilliant, mate. Happy days. Sounds good.
Well, I'm going for it. Right, Bench. What fucking name's Bench? Bench Aston. Are we having that?
That's a great name, mate. You could be a porn star with that name. Bench Aston.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So this ties in nicely because Bench was picked last week, wasn't he, to be the super sub, and didn't get in touch, or if he did, I didn't see it. Do you guys have any promotion, advertisement tricks and tactics you use to boost ticket sales when they aren't going too well? James, what you got to say for yourself?
I mean, we got loads of them. I mean, basically the number one, if you run a music festival like any of these three, the best thing you got up your sleeve is a band. So a band announcement is the thing, right? But that's not what you're asking. So other than that, it's like, oh, it's Easter. Here's an Easter flash sale. You can get an extra 10% off. Because basically, essentially, the whole of the world, the whole of economics and the whole of capitalism is like trying to separate someone from their money, isn't it? Like Marks and Spencer's, the cinema, the bowling alley, the festival, whatever, Levi's jeans. Levi's don't want you to look at their website and think, I really want that pair of jeans. They want you to spend money. And it's really hard to actually get someone, just push them over the line to actually spend money. And sometimes you just have to go, there's 24 hours, Easter flash sale, here you go. Discounting, as we've talked about with a few festivals, we've massive, like Outbreak and Radar, who did big, deep discounts or whatever. That never looks good. And I suspect some people think, agents have asked me in the past, like, why have you just done a flash sale? The ticket's not good, and I'm like, no, but tickets are good, but we haven't sold out yet, so we still need to sell more tickets. And even now, I mean, this is the biggest ever trees we've had, 100%, number one. 18 years we've been going. This is our number one biggest festival. But you know, let's do a fucking flash sale tomorrow because we've not sold out yet. So that's our only go-to really. It's pretty hard. I mean, there isn't a golden bullet.
No, am I right in thinking that you are experiencing the same sales trend as Damnation? And I suppose a lot of people that was there pre-pandemic and those last 6 to 8 weeks even, you were just doing an avalanche of sales because everyone was buying late, and now that's not happening.
No,
it's like
no, that never happened to us. We never had an avalanche of sales at the end. So basically, our sales graph goes like this, and then you do a band announcement, it jumps up, and then it goes like this, and then you do a band announcement, it jumps up, and every time there's a payday, there's a little peak, and as you get towards the festival, the last 3 weeks, the graph kind of upticks again because loads of people are like, not loads of people, a few people are, I don't know, oh yeah, let's go to that. But we've never had an avalanche of sales at the end at all, even a little bit, really.
We've got the sales history in one chart that Paul and I have got access to, and you could set your watch to, I mean, definitely up to maybe 2017, 2018. Those, if you hadn't already sold out, those last 6 weeks, you sold 50% of the tickets. So whatever you'd done the whole year to the last 6 weeks, you were going to do 50% more every single time.
Fuck me, man.
And
that's stressful, though.
Put on a wee bit, but then you relied on it. Then you're like, you knew it was coming. Post pandemic, I mean, like last year was a good Damnation, but I was sitting there looking at it and talking to Paul, going, well, this is a guaranteed cast iron, put your house in it, sell it, because we don't even need 50%. We need like 25% now to get completely sold out. And it just trickled. It seems like for us now, the graph goes like this. If you're a heart monitor, day one, 1,500 tickets, and like sort of, fuck me, anything now would just take us to a sale, and then it just goes trickles, band announcement, and then getting to the end of the year. Now, fortunately for us, with each band announcement and the huge sales at start, we're in a great spot. But even now, I kind of say like, so if you're 4,000 tickets in a 6,000 capacity festival, days can buy me like, this is 100% a sellout. But I think it probably will sell it this year now. But you're thinking about it like, even the last couple of thousand will probably be a bit more of a slog. Maybe first 4,000 went so much easier because people are buying fuller in advance and just getting their tickets in the bag. That's not really answering your question, Benj.
But do you not think I think this is quite interesting though. Do you not think there's an element of like, there's some years where, let's say, 8,000 people are going to buy a ticket, and some years you do a really great job of converting them early, and you think your sales are going to be up, but actually it's just the same people, and you've managed to get them over the line early with your discount or whatever, and it's the same people. So you can never get excited at festivals when the tickets rocket. I mean, we do 50% of our annual sales in week one, next week. You know, last week on the podcast I was saying like, buy a ticket next week, 30% off, whatever, use the pod 10 discount, etc. And that half of our tickets will go for trees next week. But this year we want to sell it out. We'll see. But last year it was half. But then you're like, is that new people, or have you just managed to converted them earlier, which is not as exciting?
Aye. But to answer your question, Benj, I am not the person you would not get this in your marketing class, because it's not something that really does the results. Honestly, I am just bluntly, brutally, horribly honest about ticket sales at Damnation, which works like a superpower, like a magic bullet when you're selling well. Because when I say there's 800 tickets left, there's 800 tickets left, and it's going to sell out, or it's not going to sell out. But it does nothing for you, like in 2023, when you're being brutally honest and going, here's where we are, we're at 1/3 and we're in August. No one's like, oh, fucking Damnation's struggling a bit this year, might not make money, let's rush out and buy tickets. Ultimately, you could buy a ticket if you want to come. And that's it. Do you like that lineup? Or you don't like that lineup? People, those numbers did not like the 2023 lineup as much as they liked other lineups around about it. So, when I say something online, people know it'll be true. So it's nice to say when I say it's going to sell out, I see the reaction to that. If I say ticket sales, there's not a lot left, we see the reaction to major sales because people believe it. Yeah. So that's nice. But it does nothing for you in a year you're struggling because people don't. That honesty, actually, it works in the other direction because what happens then is people know I've got like a 4,000 gap window here to get my ticket whenever I want. I can walk up on the day and decide. And again, that a lot of people like that sort of convenience. Well, I'll just get it when I'm ready to get it. It doesn't help you as a promoter, but it's the way I am. I don't mind any of that tangent. The 2,000 trees. I think he's doing really well with it. And as long as you're not getting the tickets cheaper than people that bought them the first day, then great, like do flash sales and that, but we don't do any of that. It's just like that. It's a very, this is the cheapest you're going to get it, and in a straight line to the end, and nothing in between. And whether that's good marketing, bad marketing, whether that's helped us or been detriment to the festival, I don't know. But it's like a lot of people, somebody asking in the Damnation Forum today, like with the Slayer and the Radar and the rest, like, are we now in a situation where just wait to the end so we can get our tickets cheaper? I am telling you as a Damnation fan, you will not get a cheaper ticket this year, and there will not be a cheaper ticket. There'll be no discounts, no 2-for-1s. I don't care how we're selling. The worst case scenario was going to happen is what happened when I done last year's Night of Salvation. If you've bought a ticket full price, I might give you another ticket for free to try and fill the venue. There won't be any version of go somewhere and get one for a £5.
No. Good. We did. Yeah. There's no. Basically, every festival organizer in the world wants to know the answer to Bench's question, and none of us actually do we? So it's tricky.
Yeah, the biggest trick, as you say, is the band. Nail that band someone wants. Get that nails. That it's like that just works for you. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone get that band, or Let Live, or whatever it is. They get that excites people that you can get your hands on. And sometimes you think you've got that band and you don't, and sometimes you don't even know you've got that band and you have.
Yeah, absolutely. And you never really know if it's the right one. Gav, tell me about the cider you're drinking.
I will tell you, mate. Which one?
Hello. Oh, we thought he only had 2 cans, but he's got more.
No. Right, listen to this again. Can free. Oh my god, I'm going to see my wife after this. She's like, what the fuck happened to you? I thought you were doing a podcast, not going for a bender in your
Well,
office.
you tell her
So,
it's being sponsored by Western Cider, so I had to drink it.
Now, this is I hope we're going to stick with this because this has been a sort of bi-monthly or one every month. This is me still going through the cargo they've sent me. This is the same brand that done the Rosie's Pig that absolutely wiped out. Then the vintage cider. Now, apparently you can get it at Trees. So when you're listening to this again in your ears, get yourself, go get a wee Stowford Press. Did they do the Rosie Pig rhubarb cider?
So what you got at Trees is if you go down to the main stage, to one side there is a Westerns bar. It's got some nice seating in it. It's a nice place to chill out, and they got all of it, all the Westerns. Okay. There is multiple.
Well, that's where you'll find me. If you want to come give me a high five and a pint of Westerns, I will be sitting in that bar.
Yeah, I mean it's a nice place to be.
It's incredible. I love it. A wee bit of breaking news is the guy James that you have spoken about previously from Weston. He wants to be involved with Damnation. I have explained. Getting yourself into Beck Arena, getting yourself into those barrels at Beck Arena is not an easy job, and it took us years to get Holy Goat in. Couldn't get Jaeger in. Tried my best to get Jaeger in, couldn't get it. And James's response was, love a fucking challenge. I don't know if he swore. Love a challenge. And so I hope, like, I've seen it every time I mention Weston in this podcast, you get a couple of comments going, please bring the Rosie Pig, because the cider at Beck's just fucking pint of Strongbow. I mean, a Strongbow dark fruits, it's like, it's not very exciting. I would like to go get a pint of the Rosie Pig rhubarb cider. I would like to get a pint of the vintage cider. These guys are not, no disrespect to Holy Goat, who are an amazing outfit, but they're your equivalent to Lou's Brews. They are a very independent small brewery. Westons are massive. I can go to Morrison's and pick up Stowford Press at my local. They're a massive national outfit, so I have confidence that they may well force their way into Beck Arena, and I would love that, and people will hopefully get those pints. So I will see James, as you're listening to this in your ears, hopefully yesterday or today, have a pint of Westons with him and discuss how we can hopefully get Westons at Damnation.
Have you actually met James yet?
No,
Because I remember when we first talked about this, because I think he came to Gloucester, didn't he? But we missed him, and like when we did the live show, you guys are going to get on, so we need to. Like I said, he'll be here in his camper, pretending he's going to drive home. But why did you bring your camper van, James?
he's third pint of vintage 7.8% cider. I think I'm going to go home later. Very good, mate. Sit down, James.
Yeah.
We're having a chat.
Well, let's definitely make sure I do the intros with you and him.
100%. I believe. Listen, I'm all in these sponsors. I believe in the sponsors we've got in the podcast. These guys gave us a pod 10 code to get 10% off. The last time I checked, they were running a code. There was pod 20% off. So I don't know why anyone would go to the site and use pod 10 if they've got a better code sitting there in front of you. If that one is now expired, use pod 10 and get 10% off a big box of that rhubarb goodness. And James, keep it coming. Keep it coming, mate. I will happily sit in a Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock tanning your dark berries. And you get some sponsors. Well, I said that his vintage one was Wreck the Hoose Juice. You get a lot of people like, mate, I don't want my alcohol described like that. He was like, I fucking loved it. So they are definitely the kind of sponsors that I want to work with on this podcast, that you can have a bit of freedom and a bit of fun.
Good. Well, I've still got some, because the weird thing about me and you is that we drink different things. So I've still got in my attic, I've got some Westerns from the tour for you, and some Jack Daniels from the tour for you. I'm hoping at your end there's rum and beer for me.
I don't have any rum. There was no rum came back up. I don't know what you've done with that, but I've definitely got your Arbor, the green ones.
Happy days. Oh, they're Tom's. They're Tom's ones.
When's your wife coming up to Trees?
Thursday.
Okay. Is she bringing the booze with her then? Or you get back?
Are you asking me to, when I finish here, send her a text saying bring Gav's booze with her?
well, why are you telling me you've got the fucking drink in your loft so I can send it a postcard? I thought you meant I'm bringing you, Gav.
Okay. Well, it's not that when I leave this call I haven't got fucking shit to do, mate, but I'll try and remember.
You're going to fall in that caravan and you need to sober up quickly, pal.
Okay, talk to me about Patreon.
James, I don't need direction in my own podcast, mate.
I'm here.
I can see.
I'm just wrapping it up. I've got a fucking deadline. No, I haven't really.
Right, Ben, get in touch with us, mate. Let us know what you want, mate. Make it something. Jesus God, man, make it something for Art Tangent or Trees, please. I have got Geo, Geo. Email starts Jackson. So Geo, if your email starts Jackson, get in touch with us, let James know what you would love from him and his festivals, and we will do our very best to make it happen. Mr. Scar, how have we managed to let this run to an hour and 47 minutes, fuck's sake? Hit me on the record, come on.
Okay, I'm going to choose the band Alien Chicks, and the song is called Steve Buscemi. I just added them to the Trees lineup. If you're listening to this at Trees, you might not have missed them yet. I really like it. I mean, they say they're like a mix of punk and jazz and Latin and math rock. I mean, it's pretty hipster for Trees. It would definitely work at ATG. I'm very new to the band, but it's definitely something different for Trees, and it's cool. I like it. So yeah, Steve Buscemi by Alien Chicks is my song.
Okay, and did you get from the last one that we've done the band Mended?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Did I get? Well, I don't know what you mean. Did I get?
So we had a conversation. The guy said for his super sub, can he add Mended to the playlist?
I feel like I missed that. Was that another Caravan episode? I'm
Yes.
going to write it down. I'm writing it down now. Okay.
I'm getting you, because the guy's going to be waiting for his Glasgow 2005 metalcore to be added, and it's not there. I'll get you the name. Something about Wraith, I thought. So I will get that sent to you when you're a bit sober. Before you follow your caravan, add that and add these along with it. We Lost the Sea. If they had
Always
hearts,
on brand. Here we go.
If they had hearts, the opening track from their new record, A Single Flower, it's exceptional. Everything you want from We Lost. It starts with this. Well, it's not a riff one. It's just like a chord progression, is it? See when you go do 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 do. That's not a riff, is it? What's that called?
Let's go for a riff. I'll go in riff.
Right, okay, it's not a riff, but okay. We gently, and they are the masters at that suspense. over a course of the track. Builds up, builds up, builds up. Next thing you know, you want a hardcore dance because it's fucking... The climax is so great, and they do a thing that you don't often get in post-rock. They cut songs off instantly. So in the middle of the absolute chaos, it goes, just stops. They've done it on the last record, they've done it again this record, there's another bit when it happens. Which is really annoying, but somehow quite satisfying at the same time, because you want it going for longer, but at the same time you're like, oh well, that was quite clever the way they've done that. Love this record. Everyone should already be listening to this anyway. I mean, fuck's sake, how many times did I tell you? This is going to be unbelievable. I have had the conversation with Mark about their set list. We are butting heads a wee bit at the moment, but I think we're going to resolve it, and it will be the set list that I'm looking for. And they will agree. They will agree, because the problem is they've got a Blood Will Have Blood. I think the last track was like 27 minutes. So if they've got a 50-minute set art tangent, you don't leave a lot of space for anything else. You get that song plus one or two others. But I'm a bit like, that last track is an absolute belter, but we can't sacrifice like this track to let it in. So, well, it's an ongoing discussion. I'll let you know how it pans out.
Incredible. You'll be doing it as they're line checking. You'll be on the stage crossing set list up.
Mark's been doing fake set list to make sure to appease me. And on that note, listen, next week I will be there, mate. I cannot fucking wait. It's
mate,
going to be the festival.
I do genuinely want you to come in like a wrecking ball. Fucking let's go. Tuesday night.
Are you up for it? Are you up for it? Because I will be, mate, I will be excitement personified.
Let's have a lovely time Tuesday, and then I will see you at 1 p.m. and everyone else I know in the Forest Bar on Wednesday.
If you're listening to this at Trees, we are on stage, the Word Stage, Saturday, 3:15. I am not being arrogant about this, but we have just sold 200 tickets for a fucking show in December. The Word Stage is tiny. If you want to get in and see us, there's a chance you might need to get there early. Okay, I'm not saying that with a fucking big head. Just the truth. It was already busy last year, and we'd only been going for a few months. So pack it, get there early, and come and cause it with us.
Yes, mate. Fucking can't wait.
Yes, mate.
Do you know, the last thing I'll say is, you ignore emails.
I don't mean, no, don't, this isn't something that's going to stick, James. I don't ignore emails.
I sent you a plan for the live pod we're doing at Trees, and you haven't replied, so what I'm going to do is just assume that's the plan. It's too late to reply now. Too late. I don't want to reply now. Too late.
I haven't seen it, but...
Fucking hell.
Can you... I know I genuinely haven't seen it. I know you have said it, but I haven't seen it. Could you send it again before you follow your caravan?
Oh, yeah, I've got nothing to do. It's fine. I'll fucking, yeah.
Mate, you're fucking pissed. Wait, you're a health and safety hazard. They're good to you to anyone anyway. Just go lie down and send the fucking plan.
Okay, done.
On that note, till next week.